Welcome to Beyond the Build, your blueprint to outdoor living. Each episode highlights what every homeowner and contractor should understand before taking on an outdoor project. Brought to you by the team at Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome to Beyond the Build, your blueprint to outdoor living. I'm Darby with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living, and we are doing this podcast as an educational tool to help you if you're looking into doing an outdoor living project. You're looking and you don't know where to start. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you've done it before and you've had bad experiences. So that is what this is about. But you see and hear people online all the time. They have YouTube channels, they have Instagrams, they have all of that, and they're giving you advice and telling you things. But how do you know they know what they're talking about? So this episode is dedicated to that, to kind of letting you know where we come from, where we've been, and why you can trust this educational information that we're going to give you. So there's no better person to have discuss that than the founder and visionary of Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. Nick Liput is with me. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Darby.
Good to have you here.
Thanks, Darby. Thanks for having me.
We have so we've set up some nice equipment in here, so we're ready to go. We're excited about doing this, and the goal is not to sell you on working with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. That's not what we're doing here.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, we've decided to put this podcast together to help educate clients all over North America, or the world for that matter,
right,
that are looking to do business with a contractor. To be honest, the advice we're going to give you, it doesn't even matter. Like, obviously we're in the outdoor living space, so we're going to be super, super helpful on hardscapes, landscapes, carpentry, swimming pools, decks, patios. But to be honest, the process shouldn't look any different.
Right.
If you're looking to hire someone for a kitchen, a whole house remodel, a master bathroom, whatever it be, the process should look very much the same.
Absolutely. Questions you should ask, things to look for. And we're going to get into all that in subsequent episodes too. So you'll be able to kind of, if you are looking at specific projects that you're looking at and you want to know questions that you should be asking or things you want to know, you'll be able to look at specific episodes and just kind of pick those out. But we wanted today to kind of talk about where Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living comes from, the history of Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. Why are we a valuable source for educational information for people on this subject? So maybe you can tell people, where do we come from?
Yeah. So the business started back in 2008. It was a bit of an accident, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs probably have a similar story. If you're an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, right? And I've been in multiple businesses. I've exited a couple of businesses, but Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living, I love it, right? It's a passion of mine. I've been in a couple other businesses that it was just business, right? It was just about making money. And at Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living, it's different. And I really enjoy what I do. It's not all stuffy and suits and cocktail parties and corporate outings. We really make a difference.
We do.
And it's so fun to watch kids jump in pool for the first time, or get videos or pictures from the families we work for sitting around the fire pit, or just, we get text messages from our clients all the time that say, this space is absolutely amazing and it's changed our life.
Right.
And so I think that's why we're still doing it. It's been about 17 or 18 years now. And through the business, we've scaled through every division you can in the outdoor living space. So we originally started it building a water feature, right? My parents wanted a water feature in their backyard. At the time I had exited a business, wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do. Came back and helped to design. I have a little bit of a design background from school. And so we designed this space and we built it out, and with no intentions on starting an outdoor living company.
Right.
But the neighbor asked, and the next neighbor asked, and the next neighbor asked, and that's how Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living came to life.
And there it was.
And there it was.
And that's something too that you've built this company, and now obviously you're running this company. See, he's running this company. He's so busy that people are constantly calling him. His phone goes off all day, every day. That's the life of the owner of Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. But you started this company, but you've done all of the work. You can do all of, so you, not only do you see it from a managerial running the crews, you've done the actual dirty, get your hands dirty work. So you've done it from the ground up.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in you solve problems with the right people. You don't solve problems with money. But I have to understand what it is that I'm doing, right? Like, I can build every single thing we sell.
That's true.
It doesn't matter, right? Like, I could tell you the best way to plant a tree. I could tell you the process to installing a paver patio. I could tell you exactly every step it takes to build a swimming pool. a patio cover. Like if we build it at Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living, I know how to build it, or I've built it before I've basically passed that responsibility off to somebody else.
And you're not unwilling to get your hands dirty still. So it's not like, I did this 20 years ago and I haven't done it in a long time. You're still, if needed, you'll still get out there and you'll still get in a pool and you'll still do all that stuff. So it is still fresh knowledge for you. It's not stuff that, you did years ago that, you kind of remember how to do.
For sure. No, I love it. I mean, last night I was at a pool and it was dark. It was 6:30 and, we're just trying to hit a deadline. And so I jumped out and helped the team. But I think that's really important to know that the things that we're building right now, I'm mostly active in building and scaling the business.
Right.
But I'm still involved in the day-to-day operations side because efficiency is so key when it comes to construction.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. Efficiency, communication, which is another big thing for us, is communicating. Transparency. That's your hallmark, transparency.
Yeah, transparency is a big one for me, and you're going to see that through this podcast series. If you don't say it at least once through every series, man, this guy's maybe too transparent.
Did he actually say that? That happens. Did he actually say that? No, he did.
I might have to say things a little bit different for the audience that we have on this podcast.
It may be a little different.
Yeah, we're very transparent. I will tell you the mistakes we've made, how we made them, why we made them, but what we did to correct them.
Right.
So that you as a homeowner don't experience them. I tell the homeowners all the time, do me a favor and don't hold back.
Right.
Right. So like if there's something that was frustrating or something about the experience you didn't enjoy, we need to know, because if you don't tell us, we can't make it better.
Right. Right.
So, I think there's a lot of contractors that are out there, and here comes transparency. Number one, they say, man, all these clients do is bitch.
Right.
Right. Like I don't see it like that.
Right.
Sure. Might feel like that, but if you don't tell me what I'm doing wrong, I can't make it better.
Right. Right. You should want to know what you're not doing right so that you can do it better. And that's something that happens in this industry a lot too, as you talk about people who, start a business after, knowing how to do something for a minute, and they can just start the business and put a shingle up and put a logo on a truck and show up to your house and talk to you. And you don't really know. You don't know where they've come from. You don't know where their skill set is. You don't know what their experience level is. So I think that's something that, it's really important to know that, you don't want to be the first one.
Sure.
You don't want to be the first, hey, this is my first swimming pool is probably not something you want to hear from somebody.
Definitely not. I think it's important for everybody that's listening to these calls to know that I also have another group, and I coach contractors all over North America how to build great businesses. And so this is what I tell them. And as a homeowner, this is really important. Nobody in the construction business started a construction business because they're good at accounting, because they're good at marketing, because they're good at finance, right? They started a construction company because they're good with their hands,
right,
and they have great vision.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is, on the other side of our business, is we're trying to educate contractors to be better business owners so that your experience as a client becomes better.
And to be clear, Nick is coaching people that would be considered competitors of ours. So it's not like just people out of market. There are companies in Colorado that you're coaching because the goal is to, and part of this podcast too, the goal is to lift. The goal is not to snuff other people out. The goal is not to put other people out of business. The goal is to raise the entire industry, because there is a bad reputation about contractors. People go, and they automatically assume they're going to get, there's something bad. They automatically assume that someone's going to get pulled over on them, or there's going to be some kind of tomfoolery happening. And so your goal with the coaching and with this podcast is to change all of that. Yeah.
We're not building this podcast to make Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living stronger. We're building this podcast because we want the client experience to be better.
Yep.
We want the contractor experience to be better. We want the vendor experience to be better. And for the guys that don't know, we want them to know.
Right.
And if we can lift the entire industry up through across North America, it will be better for everybody.
It will be better for everybody. And again, whether you choose to work with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living or somebody else, we want you to go into it with your eyes open. We want you to go into it knowing, I mean, there are a lot of questions to ask. There are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of things that we'll get into further down the line with permits and HOAs and engineering and all of that kind of thing that details really, really matter. And so there's questions that you should be asking that we'll get into so that you will feel educated. If you're having 3 business companies out to give you bids, you'll be able to ask them qualifying questions so that you can actually help make an educated decision on who you choose to partner with, on, someone who's working at your home where your kids live and where your family is. So it's, we understand there's a lot to that for sure.
Yeah. So just a couple examples, like swimming pools, shotcrete versus liner versus vinyl.
Right.
And, or fiberglass. If you call a shotcrete company, they're going to tell you that shotcrete is the best and everything else sucks.
Right.
Right. There's no education behind that.
No.
They're going to tell you why what they sell is the best.
Right.
That's where the industry struggles. We are going to educate you on what's best fit for your family.
Right.
What's best fit for your family is different than what's best fit for another family. And you're not going to be sold on a product based on what somebody sells. You're going to make a decision based off the education of the podcast that we're providing, because you're going to say, man, that's a really good fit.
Right.
Because most of the contractors out there will tell you this sucks.
Right.
Because I don't sell it.
Right.
They won't say it like that.
Right.
But that's the real reason.
Right.
If they sold it, it'd be just fine.
Yep.
So, the swimming pool business, but let's just talk about railings. If you're a custom railing builder, you're going to tell people all day long that fabricated steel railings are the best.
Right.
And that aluminum is not. And, if you're an aluminum railing builder, you're going to tell them that fabricated steel railings are not the best. And so for us, we're going to tell you the pros and cons of both, and we're going to help educate you so that you make the right decision based on the product. We're also going to have vendors on the show, right? So we're going to bring in, Thursday pools and river pools and, decorators and Bellegarde and
all of them, right?
And you're going to be able to listen and make a good decision based on third-party information.
Correct.
Right? Not the information directly from the contractors that are trying to sell you. But I will tell you the most important thing when choosing a contractor is trust.
Yes.
Right? So there might be some product discrepancies, but who do you trust the most?
Right. Who do you feel good about? Who do you feel like is looking out for your best interest? I mean, every business is in business, right? So every business is obviously wanting to turn a profit, but you can do that in a way that's still, you can sleep at night and you can still know. Look, we talk about it all the time. It's not really about the pool. It's not really about the patio. It's not about the deck. It's not about the patio. It's about what happens after that. It's about what happens after we leave. I mean, you say that all the time. So,
well, and I also tell a lot of clients, I always think it's funny because people ask for referrals. Right. Darby, are you going to give a client a bad referral?
Never.
No. Right. I want you to ask our clients, how did we handle a difficult situation? Right. Like, there's a lot of clients that want a referral and then they just call and they're like, oh, well, how was your experience? And, did you enjoy the pool? Did they hit the target timeline? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm only going to give you a referral of someone who's going to say yes to every one of those things.
Correct.
But I want you to ask them, when you got into a difficult situation, how was it handled?
Right.
Because construction brings difficult situations. It brings emotional situations. And that's where Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living may be different than people that we compete against.
And that's what we're trying to, honestly help so that other companies are more like that. I mean, we really do want the experience for everybody to be better. And it really is, it really is about trust. It really is about, you say it all the time, like what happens when the job is done and then you need something after that? What happens when there is an issue that you need help with? That's also where a company kind of shows itself and is not, ducking your calls and not returning your emails or whatever it is because in their head they're finished. So I think that's another thing is, support after the job is over, because no one knows better than you the variables with these jobs. So many things happen, so many things can happen. So there are always issues that are going to come up, and it's just about how do you handle those issues.
For sure. Yeah. So a little bit through the journey, we started in 2008. We started in water features, obviously. Within 6 months, we were building general landscape, right? So lots of trees and plants and grass, And then obviously when building in these new developments, we had to have a solution for patios. So we moved into the concrete space, right? So now let's just say we're a year and a half in, and we have a really good concept of water features. We have a really good concept behind just general landscape, and then concrete as well. And so I had run my business like this for a couple of years, and it grew, fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I think we did $1 million in the first year and a couple million within, the next year. And I remember I had a vendor come up to me and hand me a catalog, and it was Bellegarde Outdoor Living catalog.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I can't sell this. This is way too expensive.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too long after that we were asked to be a part of the Colorado Garden and Home Show. And we built this booth, and the guy we built it with said, Nick, we're going to put in pavers. And I said, man, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know how to put in pavers.
Right.
And so our next step was hardscapes. And we got really, really good and efficient at pavers and kitchens and fireplaces and fire pits and all of that. And everybody will tell you that I do thrive off of chaos, right? So
other people say they don't really mean it. He actually means it.
Yeah. And so, we did hardscapes for a couple of years. And as you grow in the outdoor living space, it's really valuable for a contractor to be a turnkey company.
Right.
So we're maybe 4 years in at this point, 5 years in at this point. And then, we got into the carpentry space, and we started building decks, and then we started building roof additions. We built some sunrooms. We built some pool houses. And so, at this point, we're probably 7-8 years in, and then here comes swimming pools. Right. And so we started in the shotcrete swimming pool side of the business. And then we've added fiberglass to the business. We have not added liners to our business just because in Colorado here, it's not really a popular finish, but,
right.
We have been educated on them through some of our vendors. Because if it is a good fit, then, we will bring it to the table.
Right.
So, through 18 years, we have grown as this full turnkey outdoor living contractor that can literally do all of it. And then we have trades. So, gas lines and electrical work, and then, permits and HOAs. And these are all the things that you're going to have questions about.
Right.
And we are going to talk through all of them. And so the cool thing about this podcast, we'll tell everybody, start here, right? You've started on the right one.
Correct.
And then from here, go find the title that's best fit for you. If you're looking at building a gable roof addition off the back of your house with a kitchen and a fireplace, you probably shouldn't listen to the one that says fiberglass versus shotcrete swimming pools.
Right.
Right. So now you know who we are, you know what we do. You're always welcome to ask questions.
Please do. Yeah.
You can ask them below in the comments section. Reach out to the office, right? If you're unsure and you live in Tennessee and you're like, man, I listened to this podcast, and if I could just talk to them for 5 minutes, I might feel a little bit more comfortable before I spend $250,000 on this project.
Absolutely. Yeah, do it.
Call the office. We're happy to help.
Right. Let us know if there's specific episodes you'd like us to do about specific topics. We'd be happy to do that too. So we're definitely in this for the long haul on not only, what we're already doing, but the podcast as well, just to kind of raise the entire industry, make it better for the contractors and the homeowners. It is Beyond the Build, your blueprint to outdoor living with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living, and we will be posting these frequently. So, again, if maybe you have friends who are looking at this kind of project, send this to them as well, because we are aiming to be a resource. So, Nick, I know you're always running 1,000,000 miles an hour, so thanks for taking time out to talk to us today. And we'll be back with another episode of Beyond the Build, your blueprint to outdoor living with Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living. I'm Darby. That's Nick Liput. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.
Beyond the Build from the team at Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living.